Good morning. Happy Sunday or happy day. It may not be Sunday by the time some of you watch this. It may not be morning, so good day to you. I don't really know what I'm going to talk about today, aside from a couple of things, so it should be interesting. Grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about books and stuff. Sound good? Good. I thought I would talk a little bit about my week in review in terms of reading. And I didn't really read that much. I had a kind of a crazy week. My evenings were kind of full with me doing other things, and that really didn't leave me a lot of reading time, and it kind of makes me sad. So I'm hoping that it's a long weekend for me. I have Monday off, so I'm hoping I can get a lot of reading done. I did finish Tide last Sunday. Drew was hilarious. If you haven't read the Tangled series, and you're looking for just a really funny, light read, you should totally read it. It's Tide. I missed Drew. We haven't really seen Drew's point of view a lot since book 1, and this is the 4th book. Yeah, I laughed through the first 30% of the book. Some of the things he says and that comes out of his mouth, they're just freaking hilarious. Overall, I liked the book. It was really funny, and it was nice to see Drew and Kate get there happily ever after, and you kind of just see all of that. If you want to read my review for it, I will leave the link, or you can just go on my blog and click on the Tide review. So yeah, and speaking of Emma Chase, I'm really excited about her. Sorry, I was putting down my phone because it's on my lap and I'm afraid it's going to fall off. I'm really excited about her series. It's going to come out next year. Now I can't think of the appealed, sustained, overruled, the legal briefs series. I don't even know. I don't remember what the series name is. I should have done my research before I mentioned it. But excited about that because I like her books and it looks funny and it kind of looks like the same Playboy type story. So yeah, excited to read that. Have you added those on Goodreads? If you haven't, you should, because I think they're going to be good. But I'm reading 2 books right now. I'm rereading Killer Queen because I've already read it. But I'm rereading it just because I really love it. And I love Fred and Viv. Sometimes this book is if you're wondering, it is a companion / continuation of Painted Faces by L.H. Cosway, and it's in now I can't even Nicholas's. Oh my gosh, it's a Nicholas's point of view. Nicholas, I was thinking Viv, and I was like Nicholas. Okay, but it's a Nicholas's point of view. There are new scenes and there are scenes from Painted Faces. I just love Fred and Viv so much. They're just one of those couples that just make me happy, and I just smile and I just care so much about them that I wanted more of them. It's just packed full of goodness, and I can't wait for you guys to read it. It comes out on October 20th. It can be read as a standalone, but I would recommend that you read Painted Faces because it's just wonderful. And Frida's character is great. I love her so much. She's so relatable. She's not this overly gorgeous, model woman. She's not described like that. She's just an everyday woman, and Nicholas finds her beautiful. He sees her and he just finds her absolutely captivating, and their love story is so good. Okay, I'll stop talking about it. So I'm reading that again. And I started What I Thought Was True, I think last week, but I kept reading it in such small increments that I ended up kind of going back and rereading what I had already read. But so far, I am really liking it. It is a YA contemporary. If I could describe it so far in one word, I would say it's charming. The main girl, her name is Gwen, and she lives on Seashell Island, and it's a kind of a touristy island. When it's tourist season, when the island is busy, there are all of the very wealthy people who have houses there stay there, and Gwen and her family are islanders. They are the people that keep the island running and doing all of the dirty jobs that the wealthy people pay them to do. Gwen's mom cleans houses, and Gwen, it takes place in the summer, and Gwen gets a job with watching this older woman, and she's in high school. Gwen is in high school, and you kind of get the impression that something happened between her and this guy named Cass, but you don't really know what it is, and all you know is she's kind of avoiding him. And early on in the book, there is a encounter. I don't even want to say encounter has an implication, but it's just they run into each other, and it's kind of she's kind of awkward about it, and he's not, but she is. And then later, there is a scene with Mrs. Ellington, the elderly woman, Gwen, Cass, and a bag of lobsters, and it's just really, it's really, really freaking cute. So, so far I'm really, really enjoying it, but I need to finish that because I am going to be buddy reading a book with Narita from Mostly YA Book Obsessed. Today, today is Saturday. I know, I film on Saturdays. But I can't film and edit the stuff and all that good stuff on Sundays, so it's Saturday for me. But I'm going to be starting buddy reading Forbidden by Kimberly Griffiths Little. It's a historical YA romance. I'm really excited to read it, but I need to get through on it, so... and then I'm going to buddy read Reignite with Christine from Shmom's Reading. I'm excited about that. And Christine, if you're watching this, thank you for waiting for me, but you don't have to. I'm serious. You can start without me. So I thought I would talk a little bit about this article that I put in my blogosphere post last week. But I just thought it was a really well-written article, and it was Fiction's article on how she experiences a book, and it was really well-written. If you don't follow her, her blog is wonderful. She's a great writer. I love her writing. I wish I could write like that, but I can't. So if you don't follow her, you should follow her. But her blog post was just really well thought out, well written, and just a really great reflection on how she experiences a book, what she looks for. And I thought talk a little bit about what I look for, and how I experience a book. She says, when I open a book, I open it with the hope, the wish, the desire to be transported to a place that will allow me to create the world the author describes around me and let me forget about the four walls that actually exist. I want to be so connected to the story that no matter what environment I'm in, be it my home, a crowded coffee shop, an airport, the world around me disappears. If a book does what it should, I am able to replace that world with my own. And that's so true. A really good book should be able to, wrap you up completely to where you're surrounded by everything in it, that you can be completely lost in it. And she talks a little bit about things that impact her experience, and she talks about characters, and for me, characters are huge. I want to care about the characters. I want characters that are interesting and multifaceted. I want to be able to understand their actions. I want them to be consistent throughout the novel in terms of is this what they would do? Is this what this character would do? So yeah, and I want the writing to be strong. I want the story. The story doesn't need to be original. I'm okay with formula. What I mean when I say that is on Dublin Street is a really great new adult. It's a story that's been done before though, but it's really on Dublin Street is done really well. The same with The Hookup. I find those to be very similar, same kinds of concept, but they're both done really, really well. I want the book to move me, to make me feel, whether it be happy or sad or frustrated or angry or whatever emotions the author is trying to convey. I want to feel something. Fiction says, for me, experiencing a book is like taking a journey. It's introducing me to a whole new world for however many hours it takes me to read the story from cover to cover. It expands my existing world. It lets loose my imagination and allows me to feel. And that's true. I want a book to do all of those things. And that kind of goes into my next topic. If a book doesn't do those things, if it doesn't have strong characters, strong character development, not necessarily an original plot, but a plot that keeps me fully engaged and has, strong elements, then, I can't give a book, 5 stars. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about ratings. And before I go into that, like my personal like rating philosophy and review philosophy, I don't mean for this to be offensive to anyone. You comment, please be respectful of other people. Book reviews, it's a very subjective thing. People have different opinions on what is a good book and what isn't a good book. But I think that you should be allowed to express whatever that is in a respectful way, regardless of the way of the rating. There are reviews for lots of different things on all sorts of different websites that have both positive and negative reviews, and I feel books should be treated the same way, to an extent. The thing that sets books apart from things like computers and coffee makers and chairs and lamps and other things is that it's a work of art. It's someone's art. It's someone's baby, and it's someone's hard work. And so I wouldn't, if I hated a chair, I would probably say this chair sucks and I don't want to sit on it and I'd rather just burn it, or not really, but like I wouldn't say those types of things about a book in a book review. I always think it's better to be constructive, or, if you didn't like something, say, I didn't like this, and I didn't like this because of this. Saying things like, this book was a piece of crap, and I wish that I could, throw it in the trash and burn it, and this author sucks. Saying things like that is not helpful for a reader, I guess, in reading your book review. As a reader, I would want to see, okay, this person didn't like the book. Why didn't they like the book? Because, I might actually be like, oh, I don't care about those things. I would probably like this book. That's more helpful than just saying, I hated it. It was a piece of crap. And yeah. So, anyway, I'm getting off topic. So I would talk about my rating system, like how I rate books. Starting with, obviously 5 stars. I know not every book is perfect, but for me to give a book 5 stars, I have to be completely love it. It has to have, like I said earlier, strong character, strong plot, just everything that I'm looking for, to make me everything just fall away and for me to love it. If there's something slightly lacking or something bothered me, then I would give it, 4.5. But 4.5 still means I loved it. 5 stars, I loved it. 4 stars for me is I really, really liked it. I may have even borderline loved it, but there just may have been something that's keeping me from giving it 5 stars. But 4 stars is still, really high. I give out a lot of 3 and 3.5s. And for me, those ratings are still considered a positive rating. It always confounds me when I see a review on Goodreads and they're like, I didn't like this book, so 3 stars. And that means that, people are thinking 3 stars is a negative rating. And really, I don't believe that it is. If you look at Goodreads rating policy, even 2 stars is considered positive, I think, for Goodreads. I think 2 stars on Goodreads is like okay, but for me, a 3-star rating means that the book was just okay. I still liked it, but it didn't really evoke any strong emotions out of me in terms of like making me care about the characters or just being completely wrapped up in everything. And anything below 3 stars for me means I didn't like the book. I have a really hard time giving a book 3 stars if I didn't like it. So if I don't like a book, I will not give it 3 stars. I have no qualms about using the full spectrum of the rating system, but in a respectful way. I know some bloggers don't rate or review anything under a certain rating, and that's their choice. But before I was a blogger, I was a blog reader and just a plain reader. And when I would go on book blogs, what I would want to see, it was, a wide spectrum of ratings. I want to see what this blogger likes and didn't like. Because I think you can still get a lot of good recommendations off of negative reviews. like I said earlier. So for me, um, if you follow my blog or if you don't, I will post a negative review on my blog. But that's not to be mean. I know authors don't like negative reviews, but you know, I can't love them all. I wish I did. And sometimes it can be awkward if you don't like, if you talk to an author and you don't like a book, it can be awkward. But um, that's why I tend to keep my reviews constructive rather than, bashing, because I just don't think that's, in good taste, and nor is it helpful for the reader who reads your review. So that's my thought on ratings. My question for you is, what is your rating system? What does a 5-star read mean for you? What does a 4-star, 3-star mean for you? Um, do you post reviews on books that you didn't like? Yeah, I just want to know what you think. I am talking a lot. Okay. I don't know if I have a lot more to talk about. I did see that Taryn Fisher and Colleen Hoover are going to be writing a book together. So, whoa, that's exciting. I'm sure whatever they come up with will be awesome. So, I'm excited. So, tell me what you're reading in the comments. Tell me what you read this week. If I've never visited your blog before, leave me a link to your blog in the comments. I'd love to follow you. I think I mentioned that in my first video. If you're a blogger or if you have a good blog recommendation, send me the link in the down bar. I follow a lot of blogs and I just love looking at everybody's posts. I may not be able to comment on everybody's because I follow a lot, but I try to comment on a lot of people's posts. So anyway, and I like comments, so leave me some comments below. Even if you don't want to answer any of my questions, just comment below and say hi. So yeah, I hope that you guys have a good week. I will talk with you next week. Bye!